All right, shenanigans all over the place. Shenanigans, Shady Town, Mama's Couch. Let's jump into it. I got my Michigan shirt on today in honor of Johnny Dent 825, who on TikTok checked me when I indicated that Ohio State had run over everyone, and he made it clear that everyone maybe, but not Michigan. So in honor of you, Johnny, I got on some Michigan gear. Thanks for having a listen. Okay, so I got something from a friend, LaWanta Dawson, a couple days ago. Yesterday, actually, and today is the 22nd of April. And it was a link to an on3.com article indicating that Clemson University is allowing Ian Schifflin and Jaden Zachary to enter the transfer portal. Now, both of those basketball athletes are out of eligibility. No question, they're out of eligibility. So, of course, that sends me on a hunt to figure out what is happening and why they're being allowed to enter the portal. Okay? All right. So, we need some backstory for this to make sense. Now, we all recall Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia was is Vanderbilt's quarterback, and he is what I'll call the father of the JUCO waiver. Okay? Now, I'm putting on my lawyer hat, okay? And so I'll try to break this down because there's a lot of court and law stuff in this discussion. So he argued to the court that his JUCO years, his first years of eligibility, should not count against him with respect to his overall NCAA eligibility. So as you know, the NCAA has a 5-year eligibility rule. Now, there are waivers and exceptions, injury, red shirt, COVID, hardship. There are 3 or 4 waivers available, but in general, 5 years of eligibility is your max. Okay? He said in court that he wanted an extra year of eligibility so he could maximize his NIL opportunity. So the court indicated that they were going to enjoin the NCAA, okay, to prevent them from enforcing the eligibility waiver against Pavia. Now, what that means is not that the court has ruled in his favor, but that the court has just said, while we're figuring it out, we're not going to let you use the rule to prevent him from playing. Okay? Now, case is still pending. But in response to that injunction, okay, the NCAA is like, okay, we're just going to grant a waiver to the 4-year competition rule, 5 including redshirt and other things, okay, to anyone who competed in a JUCO, and who would otherwise have been ineligible for the 25-26 year, except for the fact that they competed for JUCO. Okay. And they were otherwise eligible to play. Right? So it's a kind of a multi-step test, a multi-factor test to determine whether this JUCO waiver would be available to athletes. Okay. So now let me show you how this worked out. And I got a slide here. Okay. So this is Diego's path. He spent 2 years at a JUCO, New Mexico Military Institute. Then he spent 2 years at New Mexico State University. Those are his first 2 years of NCAA eligibility. And then he went to Vanderbilt. Okay, that was his 3rd year of NCAA eligibility. Now, he should have been out of eligibility at the end of last year and would be except for the JUCO waiver. Okay, so that's Diego Pavia. 2 years in JUCO, 3 years NCAA, technically out of eligibility, filed a lawsuit. The court said, we can't prevent him from playing while we're figuring this out. NCAA is like, fine, we're not just going to grant a waiver to Diego, we're going to grant a waiver to everyone that is similarly situated to him. Okay, I'm still talking about why Ian Schifflin and Jaden Zachary got another year are hitting the portal. Okay, now, it's currently relevant for Jett Elad. Okay, so let me show you Jett's stats or career. Okay, so this is Jett. 2019, he was at Ohio University, and he was a redshirt. 2020, okay, also at Ohio University, COVID waiver, so it's a free year, okay? Also at Ohio University, so he's 3 years at Ohio University, but 2021 was technically his first year of performance that counted against his eligibility cap. Then he had some academic difficulties. See that? Smack in the middle, he goes to JUCO. 1 year at JUCO, 2 years at UNLV, and now he's out of eligibility. Okay, under any set of rules, except some other waiver, he is out of eligibility. Okay, that's 6 years, including the COVID year. Now, he's attempting to transfer to Rutgers, and apparently he has a $500K offer on the table. So, under the eligibility requirements, he doesn't qualify for the JUCO waiver because his 5-year clock started in 2019 when he was redshirt. And for the 5-year clock to work for him, it would have had to start in 2020. Okay? So he filed a lawsuit as well. Okay? Trying to get that last year. So, the court heard that case last week. And it was held in New Jersey, a federal court in New Jersey, and the judge questioned the NCAA fairly strongly on how they would be harmed if Mr. Elad was granted another year. Then the judge went on to say, okay, that his decision would be unbelievably significant. Those are his words, unbelievably significant, okay, on Elad's life and would destroy a life if he ruled against Elad. These pretty strong words. So Elad had some academic difficulties. He went to JUCO in the middle of it. It didn't count. It didn't work with the way this whole JUCO waiver thing is counted. He says, that's not fair. I'm in the same situation as Diego Pavia. Not really, Jett. Not really. But okay. Okay. So, the court has made these very strong statements. Okay. Unbelievably significant to his life. Would destroy a life. So that tells you where the court is going and what the judge is going to rule. Okay. Now, the NCAA has rightfully said there's got to be a line somewhere. Okay. The problem is the NCAA has lost its way. Okay. I don't know how the NCAA recovers because they just keep taking these L's and there is no argument that seems to work. All right. So apparently 5 years is not the line. If there's a line in NCAA, apparently 5 years is not it. Now, I think that the NCAA is right. But what I think doesn't matter, including the court does not agree. Okay, so back to Ian Shefflin and James Zachary. With this kind of language coming from the judge, and the court is supposed to rule in the next few days, they're anticipating that the judge is going to say that this gentleman, Jett Elad, should be able to have another year eligibility and should be able to transfer to Rutgers. So Jett has another year under that rubric, so will Ian Shefflin and James Zachary, whether or not their facts are the same. Okay? So, there you go. Lamont, it was confusing. Took me a lot of work to figure that out. Okay. But this is, the court is making it increasingly difficult for the NCAA to establish any boundaries. And honestly, it's just because the NCAA just gamed the system for so long that now, okay, the chickens are coming home to roost and they can't stop it. Okay, so I'll stop there. This has gone on a long time, but it took a lot to explain it. Okay, I look forward to hearing your comments. Let me know what you think.